Hey, good evening, everybody. Mark here. Glad to see you. It's a good thing you're here tonight. We've got quite a bag of tricks here for you that you're gonna go home with and hopefully put to good use. So I'm gonna cover some important ground in setting up your marketing machine. And today is what? January 19th, one day before the big inauguration. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen so much national stress over what may or may not happen tomorrow. So let's pray that that goes well and we have a peaceful transition of power. And in that process, we can only hope that the conditions for doing business and just living in general will ease up and give us a little bit of a break. The New World Order is right on the doorstep of achieving their ultimate goals, which is total global domination and control. And that does not have anything to do with freedom, has nothing to do with prosperity. In fact, just the opposite. So this is a real crossroads in history, and we've got to be paying close attention to that because it really affects everything. But in any event, the good news is that putting aside momentous climactic events, the things that we're talking about, if you put them into place successfully, will put you in a position to really sidestep just about everything else that's going on around you. All right, so we can effectively nullify a lot of this bad energy that seems to be going around the world right now, and you're going to see that, I think, once we get a little bit more into that this evening. So, before I proceed any farther, if you could, I'm on presentation mode only right now, so we won't be interactive until later on in the presentation. I've got a lot to cover, and I don't want you interrupted by other people's background noise, which almost always seems to come into play. But if you would, just give me a quick text chat if I'm coming through okay, if you can hear me all right. Okay, well, let's get started then. What we're going to cover tonight, give you a little advance warning. I'm going to lay out the full concept, and I've gotten a couple emails and private messages here over the last week where a couple of folks haven't really grasped the concept yet, and so we're going to cement that in rock solid tonight. And I'm going to start off with a short video I just did today. It's only 10 minutes. And you know, it's amazing. It's only a 10-minute video, but it took me 2 days to produce. Until you do it, you have a hard time appreciating these things sometimes. But anyway, it turned out pretty good, I think. And this is a video that you'll be using yourself, quite possibly, if you decide to. And it's going to lay out the entire concept that we're going to be using here. People say, well, what products are we going to market? You know, what are we marketing? All right, and this is going to kind of lay it all out for you. And with that big picture, then I'm going to show you specifically how to set up an autoresponder email campaign in your GetResponse system. If you're not set up on the GetResponse system, you need to be. You've got the links to do that in the emails that you've received. If that's been some time ago and perchance you haven't saved them like you were instructed to, then just let me know. I'll get those to you. And the way you can do that is on the Skype group. So that leads me right into that issue, and everybody here should be on our Skype group, which is our new internet empire. And that's going to give you pretty quick feedback on any help you might need during the week when you're doing some of these things. You know, you got a question, you need a quick answer, that's the place to get it. All right, so it's very, very helpful, and it will expedite your growth curve in this whole process just by being in the Skype group. So if you have any questions about that, I think most of you already have me on Skype. If you're not in our Internet Empire Skype group, then you need to be Ask Me on Skype, and we'll get you plugged into that, okay? So I did unveil this video earlier in the day. Some of you may have seen it, probably have already seen it. It's only 10 minutes. We'll go through it again for those that haven't. And then We'll do that. We'll then get into setting up a campaign, and as I said, and then the next thing we'll do is I'll go over instructions on how to import the messages that you're receiving into your own system. All right? So we'll get into all that and how it all ties together. So let me go here. I'm going to start up the video. Hello folks, Mark Emery here. You know, in the last year, I've talked with and worked with quite a number of people through our activities in the Lighthouse Law Club and other things we're involved in. And one thing has become crystal clear. It's as obvious as the nose on my face. And that is that far too many people are living with extreme limitations on their life. Financial limitations, time limitations, governmental restrictive legislation limitations, all kinds of things that are putting us into a box. And so I've come to the conclusion that in view of the lifestyle that I've been able to develop and live the last 20 years, that we need some specific instruction in that regard so that more people can do the same thing. What I'm talking about is learning to become a digital nomad, an internet entrepreneur, where you can own your own time and be master of your own destiny. You know, more and more people from around the world are learning how to break free from the enslavement of the corporate and state treadmill. The term digital nomad is becoming not only popular, but also quite common, as it's obvious to see the benefits of owning your own time, being in control of your own destiny, and being able to manage your own business from any gorgeous, intriguing, or peaceful location in the world where you'd like to be. Even if it's only in your own backyard. You don't have to go anywhere. The point is, you have the option. So let's cut right to the chase, all right? Let's recognize that so long as you are working for someone else and receiving a paycheck, you have several problems. And they start with the fact that your paycheck is subject to reporting, distraint, garnishment, and outright theft. You don't own your time, your boss does. You're financially limited and, quite honestly, highly unlikely to accomplish your dreams at the pace that you're currently going. Let's be honest. All right? You make enough to get by, pay all your creditors, maybe, not everybody does, but not much else. You're also pinned down to your present location. No matter what happens, you're stuck there. You can't leave. You have a simple linear relationship to money. In other words, you exchange one day's work for 1 unit of pay, and no more. Done. Good night. Start over tomorrow. And if you stop exchanging that 1 unit of work, guess what happens to that unit of pay? It stops. You get sick, can't work, your employer goes out of business, whatever the reason is. That simple linear relationship to money, 1 for 1, is not where you want to be. So gaining leverage and true wealth with your current restrictions is impossible. Now, on top of these problems, as an employee, your future stability relies entirely on a stable market for your employer's product or service. It relies upon government regulation, not stifling your employer's industry. It relies upon the financial, political, and regulatory health of your employer. And then we can talk about trends in the digital age, in which humans are being routinely replaced with machines and technology. Estimates show that within 5 years, half of the jobs that exist today will no longer exist. Where does that put you? Your future stability relies also on having no natural disasters, tornadoes, floods, earthquakes, riots, martial law, or any other disruptions in your local area that could shut things down in a heartbeat. So, do you see how vulnerable you are being pinned to one single location? Now, a successful digital nomad is location independent and can move to more stable, peaceful, and beautiful locations on a moment's notice to avoid any disruptions that might occur, whether they be man-made or natural. A successful digital nomad has developed a diversified basket of business activity which creates multiple streams of income, so that if one is ever dried up, he continues without being seriously impacted. A successful digital nomad owns his own time and typically spends much more time pursuing family activities or personal interests. A successful digital nomad gets to keep the money he or she makes and put it to use for his or her own purposes. Check out the Lighthouse Law Club for that. So enough said, you get the point. All right, so what does it take to become a successful digital nomad? Honestly, it's quite simple, really. We can break it down this way. Number one, make the personal commitment, the decision, create the mindset that this is what you want and that nothing will stop you until you succeed. This is first, number one. Secondly, find the niche in the market that you will serve. Find a need and fill it. What do you love doing? What are you good at? Do you have an expertise? What is the market for that? Now, if you don't have an answer for that, don't worry, because we can help you with that as well. Number three, feel, smell, taste the results of what this lifestyle will do for you. Internalize it. Use this as a reminder to keep you moving in the right direction. Fourth, start creating your internet properties and presence. This is much easier than it might sound. You just have to know the ropes. All right, 5, start creating a list of followers. These are people who will sign up to follow you, learn more about what you have to offer, what you know, what you have to share, are interested in the genre of activity that you're involved in. All right, that's simple enough. 6, start filling the needs that your market has. And this can take on any one or more of several different business models. Could be a consulting business model, maybe putting out digital products like books and videos, music, audios, training. Could be affiliate marketing of someone else's products and services. This is the easiest thing to do because that's all created, ready to go. Could be providing a particular service to help others be successful. All right, so naturally, this list I just went over is a little bit simplified, but this is what it all boils down to. So if you're new to all this, or even if you've done some internet marketing before, there's a fair amount to learn when it gets down to all the how-tos, but none of it's difficult. It's just a matter of learning some basic concepts and how to use the tools that are available to implement those concepts to build your own location-independent business. Anybody can do this, even if you have no clue about what business or service you'd like to offer. All right, so hang on. The good news is that we have created a course you can follow which takes you step by step through the entire process of setting up your own business with multiple streams of cash flow. We have the model, we're doing it already, I've been doing it for 20 years, just follow along. do what we're doing, and you'll be generating cash flow in very short order. Are you ready? Could you handle the lifestyle of being a digital nomad? If so, join our community. And hey, did I mention that the training course is absolutely free? This is not for sale. There's no subscription to pay, nothing to pay. I almost forgot about that part. So you've got everything to gain. Get started. Freedom is waiting for you, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the path to freedom. Okay, so there you go. Now, can you picture that having appeal to a broad segment of the marketplace? Think about all the people that are stuck in their jobs that they hate. They're not making enough to get by. They're looking for solutions, answers, something new, something different. All right, now you noticed at the end of that video, there was no direct reference to a specific link, number, email, address, website, or anything else. Why? Because that's a generic presentation. And when you load that video into your YouTube channel, you will put the link in the description for your landing page. All right? So we have a link for a landing page. And let me share my desktop. And if you haven't seen it already, I will show you what that looks like. Let's see. So where is it? I've got my GetResponse open. Let's just find it from there. I'm in my dashboard here in GetResponse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to landing pages. Okay, and here's where you can create a landing page. You can explore that. And they've got a number of video tutorials. We'll deal with that a little bit later. But let me just show you the one that I'm referring to, that video will refer to, at least in the version that I have created now. Obviously, you can change it any way you like. You can use something different. You can do something completely different. But here it is. So let's just view it online. I've got two versions. I've got the original Internet Tycoon, which you've seen before. And I've got this set up in a split version, an A/B tester. And so what it does is it rotates responses between this landing page A and the other landing page B, and that way you can determine which one is getting a better response. So you can do some testing to see what people are actually responding to. If I get if I get a 10% response rate on one and I see I'm getting a 17 sign-up rate on the other, well then I know to direct my links to the one that's performing the other. But let me go back to the other one now. Here it is. All right, so when someone clicks on the link from that video, they land here. This is a capture page, and it just kind of confirms some of the terminology that we talked about. So they see, yeah, I'm in the right place. Kind of highlights on a couple of the key points. Be a digital nomad with your own location-independent internet business. It's a free online learning community. Here's what you get when you join, and a couple little carrots there, and you sign up down here. All right, now when they do that, they're going to sign up on your autoresponder list. This is how you build your list. All right, you create a lead magnet. A lead magnet is typically something free that you offer for someone to sign up. Okay, give me your email address and I'll send you a free ebook. Okay, in this case, the lead magnet is the free course in itself, which is a hell of a lot more than just one simple little ebook. All right, it's a highly valuable training program, and I say that simply just to give you an idea. What is the value? How do you put the value on something like this? I mean, how do you value turning your life around from what it is to what you see here pictured? If you could do this whenever you want, how do you put a value on that? But in terms of hard value, I'll just give you one example. Last year, I went through a training program The training program itself, and this is only one program. I can't tell you how many things I've subscribed to over the years to learn what I know, and I've filtered through all that, and I'm sharing with you only the best of the best, things that are useful, helpful, that we can use right now. Okay? But getting back to the point, this course that I took was Clients on Demand, and you can look it up yourself. Put on by a guy named Russ Rufino, Rufino. And if you want to take that course, it's an excellent course, but it's $10,000. All right? Now, it's an excellent course. I'll tell you, this guy, he's selling these courses for $10,000 at a whack. And he's doing close to, when I was doing it with them last year, he was doing about 30 clients a month. So at 10 grand a whack, that's over $300,000 a month this guy is bringing down, right? Nothing wrong with that at all. Wouldn't we all like to be in that position? Now, I went a different route. I didn't go the route of the high-ticket client, at least right away. All right? What we're doing is we're throwing out the broad net, looking for the folks that really need help. And that's most of us. And in that video presentation I just went over, I know I'm a little bit presumptive in establishing, where most people are in their lives and financially, but the odds are 8-2 that you're in that position, because that's where most people are. And if you're not, then thank God for that. The point is that there's a lot of people out there that need help, that are looking for alternatives. Right? A lot. Millions. And that's our market. What are we marketing? This free training. You'll put the video on your YouTube page. You'll import this landing page, capture page, into your system. They'll sign up for your autoresponder. You'll build your list. They will get the same messages that you're getting, albeit I'm in the process of updating, revising, and revamping, so they'll probably get a little bit better version than what you've received so far. But all the information you have is good, so don't discount it in any way. All right? And so you're building this list. Now, you've already gotten instructions to join Crowd Rising. All right? That's our first profit center. All right? So as you build your list, people go through this training just like we are right now. They'll be reviewing this same conference call for their own edification purposes. And you will change the links in the messages so that when they first go sign up for Crowd Rising, that will be your link. And you're building your list, which you own and you control. You're not doing it for anybody else. Nobody else will have access to your list. You're going to work to develop that list, and you will control that list. That's your list. Okay? And if you want to take them in a completely different direction, maybe you have expertise in healing toe fungus, and that's what you want to focus on. Great. Okay. You can take it that direction. That's up to you. So, all right, now we're going to be adding additional profit centers. All right, most of you know that I'm involved in OneCoin. There's some big things going on there. And there are other systems and programs that we'll be adding, all right? And you're going to develop one list. That list will follow you into these various programs at the appropriate time, and that will then be your multiple streams of cash flow, all derived from one activity, developing the one list. What are we marketing? No, we're not marketing health products, or we're not marketing any specific product or service other than this free training program. All right, you think you can handle that? So what have we done with the free training? We've immediately eliminated the financial objection. No one can say, oh, I don't have the money for that. You know, if we're talking about the new Global Entrepreneurs membership, when you combine that with the Constitutional Commandos membership, that's going to be about $3,000. That's a totally different market, okay? And that'll do very well in its own market. You can see here, we can throw a broad net over a large swath of people that need the help that we have, and this is how you're going to build your list. Okay, so that's the concept. And that's the landing page. All right. In addition to the Internet Tycoon, which we'll see how the two do. All right. I have a feeling that this one will outperform by far the Internet Tycoon. Just my own thought. But you can do some searches on the Internet. Just do some searches for Digital Nomad. All right. And you will find a lot of communities already exist. You can learn from other people's experiences. There's a lot of information out there beyond what we're doing right here. All right, so this really is kind of a movement that is already recognized, and we'll capitalize on that. Okay, so that's the concept. Very good. Now, let me go back. All right, this is my list of, in GetResponse, this is my list of capture pages. You can see I've created quite a few, and I've got different places in the internet where people are being referred to these various capture pages, and they're signing up for different lists. So I could show you that if I go here to my contacts, let's say I want to here just search contacts. Internet's a little slow. Here's a list of all of the different lists that I've created. All right, we've got Pathfinders, One Freeman's War, New Commandos, Old Commandos, My New Internet Empire, IRS Freedom Clients, the Law Club, the focus groups that we're dealing with in the Law Club. So you can see all the different campaigns. These are campaigns in the terminology that GetResponse uses. All right, so you can do the same thing. You can start creating different lists for different purposes. This GetResponse tool is just the absolute most useful, most productive, most user-friendly tool for internet marketers I've ever seen. And there's other similar programs, MailChimp, Constant Contact, Aweber. You get emails from all of these programs, and they're all somewhat similar. But by using GetResponse, you will be able to automatically import the messages that I've already created. For example, here I gotta unselect for here, My New Internet Empire. Okay, so you'll be able to import that directly into your system, and as soon as you start adding people to that list, they will go onto an autoresponder. Let me show you how that works real quick. Messages. I'm going to manage an autoresponder. An autoresponder is pre-programmed messages. Okay, so we can see here on this calendar that when someone goes on to the My New Internet Empire list, in day 0, they get the first message. All right? And then you can see all the other messages that are programmed for the various days. All right? So what I'm doing right now, if you joined earlier, you were getting a message a day. What I'm doing now is I've kind of spaced them out a little bit, okay? Just to give people a little breathing room to try and accomplish the things discussed in those emails. But you can, there's all kinds of things you can do in here, and I'm not going to get into a full training on that tonight, but that's what your autoresponder looks like, okay? You can move these around. You might decide you want to move this one on day 3, here to day 10, you just move that over. That's now on day 10. I really don't want to do that, so I'll just move it back. Just click and drag. Okay, so that's the autoresponder, and you'll set up these messages. Once I have these this week I'll have everything up to date, current, I guess improved, brought up to date with the Digital Nomad concept, and everything else will be brought up to date. I'm beefing them up. I'm adding more action items to the messages. All right, so people get more meat in each message. And again, if you're getting these, and you likely are, be sure to save them, because there's probably more to do in each message than you really have time for in many cases. So save them. You can go back to them and get to it. Take it at your own pace. All right? So that's the autoresponder. So that's the concept. The video in YouTube, we'll market that. That'll lead people to your capture page, which you can import from what I have or create your own. That will get people to sign up for your list. When they sign up for your list, they start getting these messages. These messages guide them along the very same path that you're on. You will incorporate your own personal links for CrowdRising, for OneCoin, for Medicus, for Gold Money, for the other things that we'll be bringing on board here. Okay? So we've got some interesting things we'll be adding on. So that's the concept. One list, multiple profit centers. Your list just follows you into these programs as they grasp the concept. So let's go back to the dashboard and create a campaign. So this is one of the first things you're going to do. And to do that, you're here in the dashboard. This is where you land when you log in. You go over here to the right, top corner, you see your current campaign right here. All right. Click on this drop-down arrow, brings up a drop-down menu. All right. Now, this is showing all of the campaigns that I currently have. Okay, I got all these different email campaigns. All right. And what you're going to do is you're going to create a campaign. Okay. So we'll click Create a Campaign, and the campaign name must be all lowercase, and if you're using multiple words, you can't use spaces in this system, so I connect them with an underscore. So just for example, I might go my underscore new nomad list. All right, and so that's the name of the campaign, and that's how it will appear throughout the system. Okay, so later on, once I create that campaign and save it, well, I can't see it disappeared now because I'm not in the dashboard. All right, you'll see that when you're in the dashboard, but when you go to other pages, you kind of lose that drop-down arrow over here. All right, so if you don't see that, don't panic. Go back to the dashboard, and you'll find it. Okay, so that's how you create a campaign name. All right, now that the campaign is created, I'm going to show you one of their little videos, and just for your reference, again, in the far upper right, you can see there's a little behind this red box. It's telling me that I'm 110 training lessons behind. They've got a lot of training lessons if you can keep up with it. There's a little graduation cap. What do you call it? I forget the name. Something with mortar in it. Anyway, the graduation cap up here. This is your university. All right. And here, I go back all the way to day 7. I did day 1 through 6. And I just kind of learned on my own, all right? I don't recommend you do that. I recommend you go through the lessons because they've got some really powerful tools, and it's going to help you to know how to use all these tools, all right? But anyway, this is where you get the lessons, all right? Continue learning. Let's click there and see where it brings us. Okay, here we go. So here's kind of an overview of their different video lessons, and you can go over here and see which, oh boy, look at all those. So there's a lot to learn here, all right? And it's good stuff. You're not going to use all of it, I guarantee you, all right? So, but do take advantage of what they offer you to help at least get you started and off on the right foot, and then you can use it in an advanced mode once you have the basics set up, okay? So what did we do? We created a campaign. All right, now let me go. This is a page they have. How can I preload messages from another account or campaign? So what they're talking about is when you want to import the messages for our internet empire, as you have been receiving, import those into your system so your list will get those and follow you through the system, then this is what we're doing, okay? So let's just listen to that video, and I'm on screen sharing, so I trust you all can see this, and let's just have a listen.
Preloading messages will actually let you copy a message from one campaign into another campaign. And so you can actually do that within your account by going to Messages, Preload. Then once you're there, you want to choose the source campaign, so where this message is located now. So let's say it is in our Deal of the Day campaign, but actually it's a newsletter that we want to be able to copy over.
In our case, that would be My Internet Empire. As I showed you before, my_internet_empire, and I apologize, I missed new. The name of the list is My New Internet Empire with separations by underscore, okay? So that's the source campaign, and we'll continue with the video.
So you'll choose what type of message, and then you'll see it generated here. Then you need to give your destination campaign information. So where do you want this to be located?
The destination campaign is your campaign, where you're bringing it into. All right, so if you named it like I just did, what did I name that? My New Digital Nomad list. All right, you would list that here. All right, actually it'll show up. It should show up in the system. So you click the arrow and it'll show up. You select it. If that's the only one you've created, that should be the only option you have. Okay, so you've got your source campaign, where the email messages are coming from, and the destination campaign, which is your campaign.
What campaign, of course. And so you can choose, let's say, our Sun Holiday USA. That's the campaign we want this message to also be in. And choose how you want it copied over. Even though it's a newsletter on Deal of the Day, you could actually copy it over to Sun Holiday USA as an autoresponder. But let's just choose newsletter draft. And then it's going to generate all the other drafts that we have in that campaign. And you can also choose a new form field that you would prefer for this message. And then once you do that, we'll deal with the middle section here. So you want to check the box next to the message you're wanting to have the action. You can choose to copy it. So if you copy it, it will of course be in the source campaign and now also in the destination campaign. Copy all would refer to if you've got several messages in the source campaign that you're wanting to copy over. And replace all would of course replace the messages that already exist in the destination campaign with the ones you're copying over from source.
In this case, you would copy all because there's multiple messages and you're copying them. You want to leave the original and add them to yours.
So let's just say for this example, we just want to copy it over. So now you see it. It went from here over to the right as well in green. We'll click Save. And the action has been completed. So it was actually moved properly from one campaign also into another campaign. So now you can access it in the newsletter drafts, for example, of the one that we moved it into.
And there you go. Not too difficult. Bada bing, bada boom. You just got to know where to go and what to click. And they show you how, okay? So don't be intimidated. This system is very robust. And that's a nice way of saying it's complicated as hell. There's a lot to it. There's really a lot to it. But don't let that daunt you. If you just look at the function you want to accomplish, learn that, forget about everything else. Like I said, you're never going to learn half the stuff that this program or system does. All right? So there's that. We finished that. All right? We don't need... this link to the video I just showed you is in your message number 11, My Internet Empire number 11, importing messages. So if you've just started recently, use the can't wait, fast forward, click here, link on the bottom of each message, and you can get to Empire number 11. And the link's in here somewhere. Where did I see it? Oh, gosh. Oh, there it is. Here it is, right here. Okay. So that will get you to that instructional page that we just covered. And you can also find that, by, here's another quick way of finding it. Let's go back to dashboard, 110 missed sessions. I got some homework to do. Like I said, you're not going to use all it. It's just too much. All right, so whenever you have any quick questions, you always have someone available. Look over here. You got a little blue button, live chat. Click on that. Little dialog box comes up. Put your name and email address that you've registered to GetResponse with, so they can recognize your account. And put the subject, start the chat. Some guy comes up with a smiley face, some tech geek, and they'll answer you right off the bat. So the service has been really good. If you can't find something, just go here and ask them, hey, can you give me the link? I want to learn how to do this. Can you send me the link? They'll push the link through and push you right over to that page. Okay, so that's a quick way of finding that link if you don't want to go through all the messages to go to number 11. All right, so there's a little bit of a shortcut. So the help is very, very good. Use it. Be sure to use it. I use it all the time. Just about every time I log in, I'm chatting with support about something. So don't be afraid to use them. That's what they're there for. They want you to use them and get proficient with the system. Okay, just to go through this real quick, we're talking about landing pages. All right, let's just go see their create page. All right, they've got all kinds of templates. All right, now when you're looking at templates, don't pay any attention to the photos or the text that are on there. Okay. Because that all can be changed. Everything on there can be changed, but you're looking at the format, something that you would like. And you can go over here to look at certain genres of pages, sales pages, download free ebook, opt into this list to get, let's look at that. Maybe you want to create some kind of a list. Obviously you do. So here's most recent. We can look at most popular, what people are using. And again, all these photos and text and everything can be changed. All right? Look, here's the one that I just showed you. You see how I changed it? I changed everything on it. Pretty much. We've got the sign up form down below. I changed this. I changed everything on it. So you'll learn how to use it, and that's about. So you're looking at the format, not the content of what you're looking at here. Okay, so that's just a little bit on that. You want to create a newsletter? It's the same thing. They have all kinds of. You use the drag and drop email editor. You're not an HTML programmer. All right, so here you put in the name, subject, and once you click next step, it'll take you to the different formats they have, and you can pick and choose one. Okay, and they will attach that format to this particular newsletter that you're creating. All right, so first you have to create the newsletter, go select the format, and then work it within that format however you want. Okay, and that'll be your newsletter for that particular thing. So I'm not going to get into a full-blown training on this, but just giving you a little quick once around. The key is setting up your campaign. Let's just go back, use my back button here. I'm going to go to dashboard. All right, so again, you're going to set up your campaign, upper right, your current campaign, whatever that says, ignore it, go down to create right here. You're going to create a campaign, then you're going to go to that link that I just showed you to import my new Internet Empire list. and all of those emails will be imported into your system. Once that's done, you will go to the messages, for example, related to crowd rising, and you will change the hyperlinks from my hyperlink to your hyperlink. So when they sign up, they get signed up on your team. Okay? So this is one big funnel. And you've heard of sales funnels. This is one big funnel that we're sending all of our Digital Nomad leads into this system, and we're just going to take it one step at a time. All right, now we're in the very early stages, okay? Very early stages. So don't look at it and think that you see everything that's going on, all right? All we're doing is we're building an engine, and we're looking at really one part at a time, okay? So when you're looking at the crankshaft, you look at it and think, my goodness, if you don't understand the engine, how it works so much, you're thinking to yourself, what the heck good is this going to do? Looking at the pistons, or you're looking at the fuel injector system. Any part unto its own really has little value until you put it all together. All right, and we'll get there. So just have a little bit of patience. But I think you see the big picture now. Okay, so we've done all that, and that's pretty much all I wanted to cover tonight. That ought to keep you more than busy, so let me get out of screen sharing mode. I'm going to go back, and we'll get interactive and handle some comments and questions. I'm going to need to change my webinar options. Q&A mode.
All attendees are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
There you go. So you can unmute yourself with *6, or if you are online, you can click your mic. So let's just open it up for comments and questions at this point. What are your thoughts, doubts, comments? What do you see? Are you seeing the big picture? So the floor is yours.
Hey, Mark, this is Fred.
Yeah, Fred.
Hear me?
Yeah, Fred, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching it, I'm looking at it, I'm still a little confused, but I did see what you did. So I'm going to work on that this week, and I guess I'll use the Skype group if I get caught up. But I have a basic idea of what you're doing. It's a little confusing, because I'm getting a lot of information thrown at me. But I'll try working on it this week, Mike. Thank you very much.
Good deal. Good deal. Glad to hear from you. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, we got you on Skype, so whatever you need.
Yep. I gotta join the Skype group for this particular one. I haven't done that yet, but I have you on as a Skype person. I had contacted, so I got to join the group that I haven't done that yet. Okay.
Well, just send me a Skype, and I'll put you into the group.
Okay.
Yeah, just send me a Skype.
I haven't checked. You may already have. I'll have to check. You know what I mean?
Okay. So give me some feedback. What do you think about the concept of the Digital Nomad? Capitalizing on that. You guys like that, or you got a better idea?
I like it, Mark. I've been involved with this for a while, but I haven't been having much luck. So when I saw you put this program out, I definitely said it was definitely something for me,
Yeah, I think you can see the appeal, can't you? The appeal, the lifestyle of the digital nomad would have to, a large segment of the population.
I'm retired anyway, Mike, so I don't do a lot, but I don't make a huge amount of money in retirement. So something like this would be perfect for me if I can, learn it and get it working, up and working for myself. So I'll shut up, get off my soapbox, and let somebody else talk.
Okay. Well, sometimes I might have you stay on the soapbox because sometimes our guys are shy. They don't want to say much. And hey.
Hello, Mark.
Yeah, who's this?
Hello. This is Arturo from California.
Arturo.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm trying to cut up with all those lessons that you've been sending me. But yeah, I see your concept. I see what you're doing, like Fred says. I'm working on it. Try to get out of the system and everything. I've been listening to your books and everything, but yeah, this is something that is new for me, but I'm trying to learn it.
Well, that's how we grow and get better, right? You can't change things if you don't change yourself a little bit. We got to learn something new and try something new and get better at something and hone our skills and get off the path that we're on. And boy, I've been on the wrong path more than once, so I know all about that.
Yeah, that's nice to hear from someone who already did, and that's a good thing. Thank you very much for the classes and for all your help, and then I will try to get into the Skype class too, so I can interact more with you guys. Yeah,
good. Okay, send me a Skype and I'll put you in. So what I'm going to do here, as I mentioned, I'm in the process of revising a lot of the email messages in the autoresponder, and each of those email messages has a URL, as you're probably aware, a web address, web page address. Once I get them all the way I want them, I'll create a list with the URLs. So if you're already, into the system at a certain pace, then you'll be able to have a quick reference for the various messages in one quick reference sheet. You just click on the link and it'll take you right there. So that's one thing I'll do to try and make life a little bit easier for everybody. That'll be easy enough to do. And probably what I'll do is create a Dropbox where we can maybe do the same thing as far as these recorded presentations. So if you ever want to go back and review what we've covered, or if you miss one, you can go back and catch up on what you missed. Okay, so we'll have an archive set up for the recorded conference calls. So that will be a plus. So we'll kind of build up a library here. And, that's the great thing. You can take it at your own pace. Again, don't be overwhelmed by, details that are all new to you. Just take it one step at a time, So I suggest follow the program that I'm giving you, all right? That'll be your training wheels. And then once you get comfortable with all of that and see how it's converting into success for you, then if you have your own ideas and want to branch off into, other areas of your own personal expertise or your own ideas for business, you're trained, you're conditioned, you're ready to go. Okay? So that's my recommendation. Now, some people want to get creative right off the bat. Well, more power to you. I've had to learn the hard way. I've been poking around and wasting money hand over fist, signing up for programs and tools that I've never used or I've tried to use and didn't benefit me. And my gosh, I hate to think of all the money I've spent, chasing this holy grail. So consider yourself fortunate that you can learn from my mistakes. It's going to save you a lot of money, let me tell you. All right, but
I got a question. I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I've only received 2 emails from you up to this point in reference to this Nomad. Is that all you send out? I just want to make sure I haven't missed it.
They should come with subject line, My New Internet Empire, number 1, number 2, number 3.
Okay, I haven't seen 3 yet. When did that go out?
That goes out, well, depends on when you sign up. They used to go out every day. Okay? So if you signed up before, let's say a week ago, they were going out every day. Now they're going out about every 3 days. So number 3,
I've only got 2. No.
Huh?
Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so that's how it works. But like I said, if you have any problems are getting filtered or not getting through for some reason, we'll have the complete list up here for you, before next week, before we meet next week, okay? So I'll get them all organized, then I'll create the list, and you'll have the links. You can go right to them. So that'll be a quick reference for you. Okay, thoughts and comments from some of you other folks. If you would, just tell us your name. First name is fine, where you're from, and then we can recognize you. And if there's more than one trying to get in, I'll pick one than the other. What are your thoughts so far? Is that making sense?
I'm still here, Mike. Mark.
Yeah. Who's this?
Andrew, Colorado.
Oh, okay, Andrew. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry I came in late, but from what I've seen so far, everything looks great.
Okay. So you're comfortable with the concept, the approach. You got a vision of how this engine is going to be put together, huh? I had one guy.
As much as possible with the. Much as possible with the limited time that we've been looking at it so far.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple days.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all you need. You don't need much. I had one guy last week, just really confused. So what product are we doing here? And one of our members sent me an email, says, "Hey, this looks like a scam." I go, "Yeah, it's a scam, all right. I've got a lifetime of experience. I'm putting in dozens and dozens of hours to create a program for your benefit. I'm not asking you one dime for it. Yeah, it is a scam. You probably shouldn't be here. Watch out. Go do something else." Yikes. That's one of those things. Dealing with the public is an interesting experience. All right. Anybody else? Comments or questions? Now's the chance. Support. It's here, live. Going once, going twice. Sold. All right. That wraps it up for tonight. You got your homework there. I'll keep you posted on developments as I get these things moving forward. And all I can say is go get registered with GetResponse. Start getting your system set up. The sooner you're set up, the sooner you start jamming those leads into your sales funnel. And you know what comes out the other end. Multiple streams of cash flow. All in due time, but we can start right now. And that's why I start with crowd rising. You know, some people kind of look down their nose at that program just because, I don't know, $20, maybe it's kind of laughable to some people, but anybody can do that. And that's something people can get started on right away. And the program is strong. It's very strong. I know the founders. I was involved in helping give input to bring it together. And they started off with about 300 people they'd carried over from another program, built the crowd rising program, and today they're just at the edge of 300,000 members in about 8 months. All right, so it's getting results, for those who give it some attention. So anyway, that's a starter, and we'll move onward and upward from there, as you well know. So, but get your system set up, and we'll talk more about it next week. Come prepared next week with some notes, comments, questions on what you've experienced and what you've done over the week, and what you need to do to move forward. Okay, I'd like to have these be productive sessions to help move you forward. So that's the marching orders. Great. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. We'll talk soon. See you on Skype.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Mark. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Mark.